The court is now in session. Please rise for the Honorable Judge Alnet and the panel of judges.
Court is now in session. Please be seated.
Good morning. I am Alden, the President Judge of this criminal trial. Accompanying me on the bench are Judge Siko and Judge Ellen. We are here to conduct the trial of the case number 12/PRUB/2025/PN Taraman regarding a serious criminal offense, armed robbery that occurred at Indomaret, Bulawan. This court will remain fair and impartial throughout the proceedings. We urge all parties involved, the prosecution, the defense, the witness, and defendant to speak the truth, respect court procedures, and act with professionalism.
Yes, Your Honor. The case presented today involves the following individuals: the defendant Tatang, the public prosecutors Sinta and Valen, the defendants attorneys Aji, Anggi, and Najwa, witnesses from the prosecutors and defense and the investigator. The defendant is charged under Article 365, paragraph 2 of the Indonesian Criminal Code, committing a robbery with a weapon at Indomaret, Mulawarman on the evening of January 16, 2025.
Thank you, Panetera. At this point, we shall proceed with the reading of the indictment by the public prosecutor. Prosecutor Sinta, you may begin.
Members of the court, ladies and gentlemen, today the prosecution stands before you to present the truth. The truth about a violent crime that took place in our city. On the night of January 16, 2025, at approximately 21:53 local time, a robbery occurred at a convenience store located on Jalan Mulawarman, known as Indomaret Mulawarman. The perpetrator, who now stands before you as the defendant Tatang, was caught on CCTV footage entering the store, wearing a black hoodie, dark jeans, and a mask, and holding what appeared to be a firearm. The defendant threatened the cashier, forced the customer to lie on the ground, and demanded the money from the cash register. He pointed the weapon, still under investigation whether real or replica, directly at the client's head. Witnesses present during the incident were terrified, and one of them was able to alert the police by secretly dialing 110 on their phone under the trouble. Your Honors, the prosecutions will prove beyond reasonable doubt that the person responsible for this act is the defendant. The evidence will show: Number 1, CCTV footage capturing the defendant's physical body and movement. Number 2, witness testimony matching the defendant's appearance and voice. Number 3, recovery of the stolen money and items in the defendant's rented room within 12 hours after the crime. Number 4, traces of gunpowder of the defendant's hands found through forensic tests. We will also present the statement from the lead investigator, who will walk this court through the process of identifying, locating, and apprehending the defendant. The report and findings will confirm that the arrest was lawful and supported by solid evidence. It's not just a case about money or merchandise. This is a case about fear, about violence, about violating the safety and peace of our community. The victims who worked the night to make an honest living was left traumatized. The customer, ordinary citizens, were caught in danger. We cannot let such actions go unpunished. At the end of this trial, we are confident that this court will find the defendant guilty as charged and will request the appropriate sentences under Indonesian criminal law. Justice must be served for the victim, for the community, and for the church.
Thank you, Mr. For the result statement. The court advocates the quality and seriousness of your presentation. The defendant, please come forward. Then, do you agree on daily bank and the scam of the crime on the day and date mentioned in the indictment?
I admit that I was at the scheme, but I did not commit the acts that I am accused of.
What are you doing at the scheme?
I was just walking around the area and happened to meet some people and know.
Alright, we will consider your statement. Do you have anything else to add?
No, Your Honor.
The prosecution may present what appears to be convincing evidence. However, the defense will show that the accusations are based on assumption, misidentification, and circumstantial connection. We will demonstrate that Mr. Katam was not at the scene of the crime at the time of occurrence. We insert the present credible witness who will confirm the whereabouts of the defendant on the night in question. This witness include individuals who were with Mr. Katam during the time of the incident and can provide reliable alibis. In addition, we will question the accuracy of the identification process and challenge the validity of the evidence collected, including how it was obtained and whether it is linked directly to the defendant. We believe that these issues raise significant doubts that must be addressed before any conclusion can be drawn. We request that this court listen to the full presentation of our case with impartiality and open judgment. At the end of this trial, we will seek a verdict of not guilty based on the lack of solid and conclusive evidence against our client.
Thank you, Counsel Ajit, for your statement. The court acknowledges your submissions. We shall now proceed to the examination of witness. The prosecution might call its first witness.
The court calls witnesses to testify. Stop.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear that I will speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We might begin prosecutor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Tariq, how would you please state for your name, occupation, and your relationship to the incident that occurred of January 16th?
My name is Muhammad Tariq. I work a cashier at Indomaret Rawarman on the night January 16th. I was working the night shift when the robbery happened.
Can you describe what happened during the robbery?
At around 9:40 p.m., a man entered the store. He was wearing a black hoodie and mask of face. I thought he was just another customer, but then he pointed a gun at me and told me open the me open the cash register.
What did you do at that moment?
I was scared. I opened the register and gave him the money. He also yelled at the customer to lie down on the floor. He moved quickly, took cigarettes from behind the counter and ran out.
Were you able to see his face only?
Only partly. The mud covered his mouth and nose, both caused his eyes and hair. He was about 170 cm tall and had me sleep well.
Did you later identify the man in police lineup?
Yes, I did. I recognized him by voice and face. I point to Mr. Tata.
Thank you, Mr. Tori. No further question at this time.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine the witness? Counsel for the defense, you might proceed with cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Tori.
Good afternoon.
You mentioned clearly that the person who robbed at the store was wearing a mask. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So you could not see his full mask clearly,
Only part of the face and hair.
and yet you identified Mr. Tata in a police lineup based on that partial features.
Yes, and also because his voice, I remember how he spoke.
Mr. Tori, would you say the incident was stressful and frightening for you?
Absolutely. I was very scared.
Is it possible that under such pressure, your memory may not be perfectly accurate?
I don't think so. I remember it well.
Okay, let me clarify, sir. You only saw part of the suspect fast. You were not frightened. The event happened very fast. Is not it true that you only had a few seconds to look at the suspect?
Yes, maybe 10 seconds or so.
And in those 10 seconds, with a mask covering most of his face and fur clothing your mind, you are still certain that it was Mr. Tata?
Yes, I believe it was him.
Mr. Tori, did you know Mr. Tata personally before the incident?
No, I don't know.
So you had never spoken to him before or seen him outside of the incident?
No, never.
Then, how can you be so certain with such limited interaction and such a short observation that he is the perpetrator?
It's just a feeling. I recorded the age, the voice, the way he moved.
Okay, no further question, Your Honor. Thank you.
The court calls the next witness to the stand. Ms. Rani, a customer who was present during the incident.
You might begin prosecutor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rani, could you please state your name, occupation, and what you witnessed on the night of January 6th?
My name is Rani Amelia. I am a university student. On the night of January 16 years, I was at Indomaret Mulawarman to buy some snacks. Suddenly, I man entered wearing a hoodie and mask and pulled all again.
What did you do when that happened?
I froze. I was scared. He shouted everyone to the one down. I dropped to the floor behind the sofas and big throat to see what was happening.
Can you describe the person you saw?
He was slim, medium height, wearing black clothes. He took money from the cashier and grabbed some cigarettes.
Did you get a good look at his face?
Only his eyes, but I heard his voice. I was kind of deaf and nervous.
Did you participate in the police lineup?
Yes, I pointed to some person and the cashier died Mr. Tatang.
Why were you confident in your identification?
The eyes, the voice, and especially the voice. I was hiding, but I remember the voice.
Thank you, Ms. Rani. No further question.
Hence, you may begin your cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Rani.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Rani, you testified that you were present at Indomaret Mulawarman during the robbery. Where exactly were you in the store?
I was near the snake as we put to the bag.
You said you dropped to the floor and it through the sound. Would you admit that your view was very ill of drop?
Yes, that's true.
So, you could not see the entire scan clearly?
No, not everything.
Yet you testified that you heard the voice of the robber and recognized it later during the lineup. Are you professionally trying to identify voice under stress?
No, I don't, but remember it clearly.
Is it possible that what you remember is influenced by the statement of other people, for example, the cashier or the police?
I don't think so.
Let me ask this. When you point out Mr. Tatam at the police lineup, was that before or after you talked to the police about what you saw?
After I talked to the police.
Is not it possible then that your memory was influenced by the investigation or question?
I don't think so. I trusted my memory.
But you were scared. Your view was flawed and you had no previous knowledge of the dividend. Is not it fair to say there is a possibility you made a mistake?
Maybe, but I still believe it was hiding.
No further question, Your Honor.
Very well, Ms. Rani. You may step down. Thank you for your testimony.
The court calls the next witness to the stand, Mr. Rudy, a staff member at Indomaret Mulawarman.
You might prosecutor.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rudy, can you please state your full name and your positions at the time of the incident?
My name is Rudy Pratama. I was working as a night shift employee at Indomaret Mulawarman.
Can you describe what happened on the night of January 16?
Yes, around 9:45 p.m. I was restocking the shelf near the beverage section. Suddenly, I heard loud shouting from the front. When I turned around, I saw a man pointing a gun at my colleague who was at the cashier.
What do you do?
I immediately dropped to the floor and crawled. Behind the shelf, I saw the man yelling and demanding cash. He also took some items from behind the counter, cigarettes mostly. Not really. He was wearing a hoodie and a mask, but I did get a glimpse of his eyes and his voice is rough and shaky.
Did you cooperate with the police after the incident?
Yes, I provided a statement and also reviewed the CCTV footage with them.
Based on your calculations and the video, do you believe the person sitting in the defendant's seat is the same person who committed the robbery?
Yes, the body language, the height, and especially the way he held the weapon at all matches.
Thank you, Mr. Rudy. No further questions.
Defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Rudy.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Rudy, you mentioned earlier that the person who robbed the store wore a hoodie and a mask. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So, it's fair to say you could not see the robber's full face during the incident?
That's right. I could only see part of his face.
You said you recognized him by his eyes and the way he held the weapon. Is that your only basis for saying he is the defendant?
Also his height and body movement, but yes, mainly those two.
How far were you from the robber during the incident?
Maybe 5 or 6 meters.
And you were hiding behind the shelves during most of it?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy, would you agree that identifying someone from 5 meters away, partially hidden under stress and with a mask on, is very difficult?
Yes, was difficult, but I still believe it was him.
You mentioned reviewing CCTV footage. How clear was the video?
Yes, very clear. But it showed the person entering and leaving the store and the robber.
In the footage, could you see the person face?
No, the mask covered most of it.
Then may I ask how exactly you were sure the person in the video was the same person who is now the defendant?
The police said it matched the description and the timing I trusted. What I saw and what they told me.
So, your certainty is partly based on what the police told you?
Yes,
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Rudy. The one still down.
The court calls the next witnesses to the stand. Mr. Andra, the police investigator assigned to this case.
We now begin cross-examination.
okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Andra, please state your full name, and your role in the case.
Okay, my name is Inspector Andra Mahendra. I am criminal registered with the East Tarakan Police Department. I was the lead officer in charge of the armed robbery investigation.
Can you explain how your investigation began?
The police dispatched a report of armed robbery at Indomaret Pulau Warman on January 16 at 9:15 p.m. I arrived at the scene approximately 25 minutes later with a French system which searched the location, question witness, and collection physical evidence.
What evidence was collected?
We collect used by near the pressure area, partial fingerprint on the glass, refrigerator door, and third piece of black top. The man's part of body. We also extract CCTV footage from inside the store and from a nearby ATM machine.
Did the CCTV footage clearly show the suspect?
Firstly, the footage inside the store saw person entering with black hoodie and face masks. However, from the ATM outside camera, we captured a facial view of his face as the lip and low breath is made from chicken. Will adjust it.
How did you identify the defendant as the suspect?
We can get the ATM contact and run facial recognition with the police database. The system identification matched with the defendant Mr. Tatan, who has previous record related to death at the finale and of the fingerprint is.
Was the weapon as in the robbery correct?
Yes, we found replica gun buried behind a bush about 13 meters from the scene. Based on information from the team, it matched the witness description and had the same type of bullet casing.
In your professional opinion, is the three strong evidence that link the defendant to the crime?
Yes, the CCTV footage, facial, match fingerprint, advance, burial record, and location of the replica weapon all support the conclusion that the defense did what the professor.
Thank you.
Defense you like to cross-examine the investigator.
Mr. Honor, we would like to proceed. Thank you, Your Honor. Inspector Andra, I experience your service. I just have a few questions to clarify your investigation. You mentioned that the suspect face was only partially visible on the ATM camera. I am confident that such a partial image is enough for reliable identification.
Well, I could imagine the system we used cross-check facial features with our database and saw and high probability match. This was corroborated with fingerprint advance.
Let's talk about the fingerprint. You said it was partial as well. Couldn't it have been left at another time, perhaps during an early visit by my client?
It is impossible. However, we verified with the store cleaning records that the glass door was cleaned the night before the incident. The fingerprint was fresh and matched the time of the robbery.
Was there any witness who directly saw the suspect was during the robbery?
No one saw the full face during the robbery as the suspect were mixed. The investigation was based on indirect evidence and CCTV analysis.
Let me ask, did you find any DNA evidence such as hair, saliva, or blood at the crime scene?
No, we did not find DNA tracks. The court said the suspect appeared to be careful and wore gloves.
Is not it true that without clear facial recognition, full fingerprint evidence, and no DNA, there is still room for reasonable doubt?
It is the court is role to the claim with beyond reasonably doubt my duty was to provide the evidence with court's standard protection.
One final question. Did my client, Mr. Tatang, confess at any point during interrogation?
No, he remained silent and exercised his right to not answer questions without legal consent.
No further question, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very well. The witness must sit down.
Criminal person with the examination of the first witness for the defense. Defense counsel, please present your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we call Mr. Rian to the witness stand. Mr. Rian, won't you please introduce yourself to the court?
My name is Rian Prasetyo. I'm 23 years old and I work as a barista at a local coffee shop. I've been friends with Tatang, the defendant, since we were in high school.
On the night of the incident, March 12, around 10 p.m., where were you and what were you doing?
I was with Tatang. We were at my place watching a football match. I remember clearly because it was Barcelona versus Real Madrid, and Tatang is huge fan of Madrid.
Are you certain about the time?
Yes, very certain. The match started at 9 p.m. and ended around the 45 p.m. He was with me the whole time. We haven't ordered 5 fried rice through and at around 10:15. I still have the pressure.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, we would like to submit the digital receipt as anxiety.
The report showing that anxiety has been accepted. Please proceed, counsel.
Mr. Rian, in your experience, has Tatang ever shown signs of aggressive or criminal behavior?
Not at all. Tatang is a calm and responsible person. He works 2 part-time jobs to help support his mother. He's never been involved in any kind of trouble.
Why do you think he is being a juvenile?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it's a misunderstanding, or maybe the real culprit looked similar to him. But I know for a fact he's was with me the whole time.
No further vision, Your Honor. Thank you.
The prosecutor, you might have proceeded with the cross-examination.
Mr. Rian, did anyone else see Tatang at your place that night? Any third party who can confirm your story?
No, I was just the 2 of us. But like I said, we ordered food online, and the delivery timestamp can be verified.
What you leave for your friend if they were in trouble?
No, I won't. I'm here under oath. I value the truth, and I will never risk jail time for telling.
No further question, Your Honor.
The witness must step down.
Court up.
Defense counsel, you might have present your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The defense calls Mr. Ronnie to the witness stand. Please state your name, age, and your relation to the defendant.
My name is Ronnie Agansha. I am 27 years old and the older brother of the defendant.
Were you in contact with your brother on the night of the incident, March 12?
Yes, I was. He called me on the round the 20 p.m. for Rian house, asking me to pick him up because our mom wasn't feeling well.
Did you pick him up?
Yes, I reached Rian house around the 10:40 p.m. I saw them both sitting outside on the porch, and then I drove Tatang home.
Do you have any proof of this interaction?
Yes, I do. I have my colloq and then timestamp of the grab card treated. I asked to together took a photo of Tatang and Rian that night jogging around on the boards.
Your Honor, we request to submit the colloq right to set and photo as Exhibit E.
Let the record show that Exhibit E has been accepted into evidence. Please continue consulting.
In your knowledge, is your brother capable of committing armed robbery?
Absolutely not. Tatang is a kind person. He works hard and avoids conflict. He was been someone who followed rules.
No interrogation, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Ronnie, do you have any reason to leave for your brother?
No, I don't. I am no.
Mr. Ronnie, do you have any reason to leave for your brother?
No, I don't. I am aware of the consequences of perjury, and I stand here to speak the truth.
You only saw him around 10:40 p.m. What about before that? How can you be sure of his action?
He called me from Rian phone. I could hear them talking in the background, and based on the location shared via WhatsApp, he was there than entertainment.
No further question, Your Honor.
This court has noted our testimony from both the prosecution and the defense. Our submit evidence, including Exhibit A, Clause 8, has been recorded. Before we proceed to the closing arguments, let us confirm the both parties are ready to move forward.
Your Honor, the record shows complete evidence has been received. The court my present.
Prosecution, do you have any additional witness or evidence to submit before the person? Thank you, prosecution. Defense counsel, you might now present your closing argument.
No, Your Honor. The defense also takes its case.
Very well, with the parties having restated their case, the court now closes the evidentiary session. We will now proceed to the closing argument from both the prosecution and the defense.
The prosecution may now deliver its closing argument.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, we have presented a clear and solid case. The defendant Tatang was identified by multiple witnesses, including the store owner and the customer present at the crime scene. He was seen holding a weapon and threatening civilians inside the Indomaret on Jalan Mula Warman on March 12 at approximately 10:25 p.m. CCTV footage entry as Exhibit A shows a man matching his appearance. Eyewitnesses' testimony further confirmed his identified. The police investigation led by Officer Andra verified the match based on clothing, body posture, and the item found during the arrest, a knife similar to the one used the robbery. The defendants claim he has an alibi, but an alibi built only on family and friend testimonies is not strong enough to outweigh direct identification from natural witnesses and physical evidence. This was not just a petty fact. This was an armed robbery, a threat to public safety, a trauma for the store owner and the community. For this reason, the prosecution's firm requests the defendant beyond guilty instances to 10 years in prison. Thank you.
Thank you, prosecution. Defense counsel, you might now present your closing argument.
Your Honor, members of the court, the defense does not state that a terrible event occurred on March 12. But we don't challenge the assumption that Tatang, the defendant, is the person who committed this crime. Our client is a credible alibi, supported by Mr. Ronnie and Mr. Ryan, both of whom confirmed his presence at another location during the time of the incident. We submit supporting evidence including photos, grab receipts, and photographs. These were not fabricated. We were verified. The CCTV footage is blurry and does not clearly show the perpetrator's face. The store was poorly lit in confusion. The knife found was not proven to have fingerprints and any connection to our client. We urge this court to see beyond assumption. The legal standard is not suspicion. It is proof beyond a reasonable doubt, and the prosecution has not met that burden. We therefore ask this honorable court to find the defendant not guilty. He is a young man with no criminal record. A mistake in identity must not bring an innocent life. Thank you.
Your Honor, in my opinion, the prosecution's case is convincing. The testimony from the shop owner and customer was clear. Although the CCTV is blurry, the pattern of clothing and the knife found during arrest match the suspect. The defense alibi has some merit, but this is weakened by the fact that the witnesses are personally close to the defendant that call off their objectivity.
I agree, but we must also consider the legal standard from beyond reasonable doubt. I am slightly concerned the identification may have been very unstressed, but overall, the chain of events, the timing, and the much its description make it hard to ignore. If I want clarity, I believe a tensions around 7 to 9 years for prosecution.
The panel of judges will now deliver the verdict. All parties, please rise.
After call for deliberation and evaluation of all present evidence and testimony, this court hereby finds the defendant, Tatang, guilty of armed robbery. The court considered the traumatic effect on the victim, the presence of weapon, and however, we also take into account the defendant's young age, lack of prior convictions, and partial uncertainty and evidence. To consider the traumatic effect on the victim, the presence of weapon, and the threat to public safety. However, we also take into account the defense young age, lack of prior confidence, and partial uncertainty in the evidence. Therefore, the court sentenced the defense to 8 years of imprisonment at a correctional facility in accordance with Article 365 of the Indonesian Penal Code. This is the final decision of the District Court of Tarakan and might be applied within 7 days. The court is adjourned.